Hi, welcome back to Pass the Popcorn. I'm Lizzie, and today we are starting a brand new series on the channel. It is the monthly recap of what I watched. So we are going to dive in and rate everything that I watched in the month of June. There were some duds, there were some delights, and overall, there's a lot of watch hours. So let's dive in and see what I watched in June 2025. Okay, so like I said, this is kind of a new series on the channel. Every month I will recap what I watched that month and we will rate it, and it's just kind of a fun way to highlight some movies that otherwise wouldn't be talked about on the channel, and I'm really excited about it. So hopefully you like this video. If you do get to the end, please hit the like button, leave a comment if you want. It will help me know that you like this type of content and you like these types of videos, so I can keep making them. So without further ado, let's jump in and find out what I watched in the month of June. So this month I have actually been recovering from oral surgery, so I might sound a little silly, but I had a lot of time on my hands while I was healing to watch a lot of movies. So I watched a lot of like old rom-coms and things that I love, some new comedies, movies that I haven't even seen yet. So some of these were like first time watches. Overall, just a lot of good things that I watched in June. I was very happy with my list, but I did rate everything that I watched. The first movie I watched in the month of June is a Netflix original called The Life List. It stars Sophia Carson and I think Kyle Allen. I had never heard of him, but he was amazing in opposite of Sophia. And any movie with Sophia Carson I think is phenomenal. I love her so much, so I just knew this movie would be amazing. And it was, just as I suspected, it was incredible. Overall, I rated it about a 9 out of 10. It had so much heart and so much depth. The writing was amazing. And overall, I just felt like it was a very strong storyline. Very unique idea, too. I felt like I hadn't seen anything pretty similar to the plot, and the characters were just insanely likable. So overall, yeah, it was really good. I gave it about a 9 out of 10. The only reason it was docked 1 point is because it did have a lot of language. I don't really care for a lot of language in movies. In fact, I actually use a service called ClearPlay that filters out language and violence and things. I can pick the filters, but it's a filtering service. But anyways, it just had a lot of language that I didn't care for. But overall, I just thought the movie was amazing. 9 out of 10, I highly recommend it. Next is Power Rangers. When did this movie come out? Okay, it came out in 2017. It's basically the live action adaptation of Power Rangers that has Elizabeth Banks, Naomi Scott, I know I'm gonna botch this name, Dacre Montgomery. He's from Stranger Things. Anyways, came out in 2017. It was kind of a flop, and honestly, at the time when it came out, I really liked this movie, and then rewatching, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, that wasn't great. So overall, I rated it like a 4 out of 10. It's kind of cheesy at times. I do like that it was kind of a creative take on the origin story of Power Rangers. And I feel like it had some unique plot points and things, but overall it was kind of a 4 out of 10. Kind of got a little cheesy. The ending had like 4 endings. And honestly, Krispy Kreme kind of carried the plot. So it's a little funky, but I don't think it's like terrible. 4 out of 10. So it's not terrible. It's still worth watching. But it was just kind of a fun action flick that I turned on one day. Okay, the next movie I watched, this was a new watch for me. I did not see this movie in theaters. So when it came to Disney Plus, me and my husband sat down and had a movie night and watched it. And that is the brand new Captain America Brave New World. It was good. We thought it was decent. We were surprised by some things. Actually, I'm sitting here thinking about it and I'm like, actually, it wasn't great. Like, I enjoyed the beginning, up until they got to like the White House and like the shooting happened. I thought it was fine, but as my husband and I were sitting there watching it, we were like, is this is this Captain America Winter Soldier? Because it had some of the exact same plot points in Winter Soldier. So we thought that was kind of funny. The plot was kind of hard to follow at some points, and we were really shocked that, like, they advertised the Red Hulk in this movie. It was in all the trailers and all the posters, and that didn't happen till the very last fight, and you don't find out the president is the Red Hulk until the very last fight. And we were kind of shocked by that. We were like, oh, they gave away, like, the plot twist, like, way way before, and that was supposed to be like the climax of the movie. So that was just really shocking that they kind of gave that away in all the promos for the film. But it was fine. Like, I think Sam Wilson is a great Captain America, except no one will ever replace Steve Rogers in my heart because I love him. But I also loved his sidekick Falcon. Yeah, I thought he was great. So overall, it was good. It was decent. Not the best Marvel movie I've seen, and I do feel like they kind of stole a lot of plot points from Winter Soldier. But actually, we felt like the end scene with the Red Hulk should have been like the middle of the movie, and then the end scene where they were at Galactus Island or whatever should have been like the end battle, and the Red Hulk should have shown up there. And then it was weird how, like, the guy with the brain, sorry, I don't remember his name, the guy with the big brain, he kind of turned himself in at the end, even though he was like the big bad guy throughout the film. And then I'm never one who loves end battles who end with talking. And it kind of felt like Natasha talking down Hulk, like, the sun's going down, the sun's getting real low, you know? So anyways, it was just kind of funny. They made some funny choices. So we gave it like a 4 out of 10. Okay, the next 2 movies we watched, we had some family in town who had never seen these movies, and so we just had to show them, obviously, because they are some of my favorite movies of all time, and that is the animated How to Train Your Dragon series. So we only watched the first 2 films for time's sake, but we watched 1 and 2, which are just, like, outstanding movies. You can guess with how I'm talking about it that it's a 10 out of 10. These movies are just phenomenal. No notes. They're perfect. I love them. I cry. I just love them. I could go on forever, and I probably will make a separate video talking about how much I love these movies and why they are so impactful. But briefly, I will just say I love that Hiccup has this amazing, confident manhood journey. And I think it is absolutely incredible with him having no confidence, to Toothless giving him that confidence, to him kind of being a little bit reckless and not very responsible, losing his dad and then having to become chief. And then obviously the 3rd film is amazing, and him and Toothless kind of choosing to find their person and pick their person. They are no longer each other's person. They have higher purpose and choose to get married and have kids, and it's the most perfect animated franchise in the world. So anyways, 10 out of 10 for How to Train Your Dragon. I love those movies so much. Okay, next up was the highly, highly, highly anticipated live action How to Train Your Dragon. I was so excited for this movie. I actually made a completely separate reaction video on that, so you can go watch that. I will link it in the description of this video if you want to watch that. But overall, I rated the live action How to Train Your Dragon about a 6.5 out of 10. It was not as good as the animated. They made a lot of changes of things that I didn't really care for. However, I am like a huge, super mega fan of the animated. I have it memorized. So I was being very nitpicky, and I know that. So there was a lot of other people who like loved it. And granted, I will say it wasn't terrible. Like, I thought it was great. However, there were some things I felt like were integral to the story and the character arcs that they took out, and I just like could not ignore those. So 6.5 out of 10 for me. It was good. I didn't regret seeing it. But the animated reigns supreme. Next is another just fun action flick. I actually love like dystopian and end of the world type movies. So this one, if you've seen it, it's called The Fifth Wave. This movie came out in 2016 with Chloe Grace Moretz. Based in the end of the world, aliens invade, and there's 5 waves to kind of kill off humanity. Very entertaining, and I actually love like the science of like how they killed off the human race. That sounds so dark, and that's like so not my personality, but I like movies like that. So anyways, it's really good. I actually really enjoy it. I probably watch this movie like every other year, maybe once a year. I don't know. But I think Chloe Grace Moretz does a really good job in it. I did not read the books. This is a book to movie adaptation. I didn't read the books, and I know there's more than one book. And I think this was supposed to get like a series of movies, and I'm bummed that it didn't get more, because it kind of leaves off on a cliffhanger, and they definitely could have done more. So I'm kind of bummed they didn't get more. Overall, I rated it a 5.5 out of 10. That's funny because it's called The Fifth Wave. But I rated it a 5.5 out of 10 purely because it's unfinished, leaves off on a cliffhanger, which isn't a bad thing, but I just really wanted more. And there's a lot of violence in it, which is kind of hard. I do struggle with like kids being violent in movies. For example, The Hunger Games. I used to love The Hunger Games, and since I became a mom, it's like a lot harder for me to watch. So anyway, so I gave it a 5.5 out of 10. That doesn't mean it's bad. I just like wanted more. Next is a series. I actually finished watching Good Luck Charlie for like the millionth time. I don't even know. I have watched it so many times. It is a comfort show for me. I actually think it's one of like the best family dynamic sitcoms out there. Even though it's a Disney Channel show, don't count it out because it's amazing. So anyways, I finished watching Good Luck Charlie. Love it. 10 out of 10. I just think it's amazing. Amy Duncan is like what I aspire to be. I love her so much. So anyways, great show. It's on Disney Plus. The next movie I watched was also one I did not see in theaters and then recently came to Disney Plus, and that is the live action Snow White. The ever controversial live action Snow White. So I also did another review video on this, so you can go watch that as well for my full thoughts on the movie, and I will link that in the description below. But overall, I rated Snow White about a 5.5 out of 10, which is going to shock some people because I know some people who rated it like a 0 out of 10. So to give it a 5.5 is like, that's like a high rating. It did not do well, and I will say I did not love it, but it was not the worst live action I've seen. I personally felt like I couldn't look past the songs and the writing. Like I felt like those were very strong. I loved the opening song Where the Good Things Grow. I just thought that was so good, and her power ballad Waiting on a Wish, and their duet, her and Jonathan's duet, I thought was awesome. So I couldn't like ignore the songs. They were so catchy and so good. And then I thought the writing was strong with the whole storyline and the plot, and I just thought all of that was really good. Where it fell flat for me and really lacked, and I think this is why it failed, was the casting and the costumes and the CGI and like the production choices they made. So anyways, I deep dive into that into my other review videos, so you can go watch that if you want to know more, but I rated it about a 5.5 out of 10. Next is a movie that I've personally never heard anyone talk about, which is a shame. So here's me talking about it, because I actually love this movie, and it is called Marry Me. It stars Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. It is like a good old-fashioned rom-com that released in the 2020s, and it's so good, and I love it. Also has a fire soundtrack. The songs in this movie are fire. They are so good. And it's just a cute story. She's a pop star who falls in love with an ordinary guy, and it's so cute. And Jennifer Lopez like shines in rom-coms. She was born to play the main lead in rom-coms. She is amazing. So it's just so fun to watch her, and who knew her and Owen Wilson could have so much chemistry? But they do. They're amazing. So I rated this movie about an 8 out of 10. I thought it was so good. I loved it. I rewatch it again. Every time I see it comes on streaming, I do rewatch it because I love it so much. Where can you watch this movie right now? If you have a Hulu Premium subscription, it's on there. All right, the next movie, again, is a new movie I did not see in theaters, and it's been on Disney Plus for a while, and my husband and I finally sat down and decided to watch it one night, and that is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We love the first Black Panther and absolutely adore that movie. I don't know why we didn't see the second one for so long. I think I kind of have like fallen off the Marvel train a little bit because I haven't kept up with all the shows and things, so I feel a little bit lost. But we decided to sit down and watch this, and it was good. I actually really liked it. I thought that they did a very good job of paying tribute to Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, and I love that the mantle of Black Panther went to Shuri, and I love that you really grieved with the family and got to see their grieving process. There were a few things I would have changed about it. I felt like there was a lot of screaming. I don't know why it's like a modern day trend to have in action movies like women, when they are fighting, like just scream. But it's a trend. So anyways, there was a lot of screaming. And I do feel like Shuri's anger, she had a lot of anger with losing her family, which is totally normal and a part of the grieving process. However, in the end fight, she's just raging, and I felt like her resolve of that anger should have happened before that fight. I would have loved to see her fight with a little bit more honor and dignity, like she was like channeling T'Challa a little bit. That is probably going to come in another movie because I know this is supposed to continue. But I'm glad she had that resolve regardless. I also thought it was very crazy and poetic that Killmonger was the one that showed up in her, when she's becoming the Black Panther. Killmonger was the one that showed up. That was crazy. Anyways, it was good. I rated it about a 7 out of 10. Okay, the next two movies are two of my favorites of all time. The first one is called You Again. It is a family comedy, and it is perfect. If you have not seen this movie, go watch it right now. It is on Disney Plus. First of all, this has like one of the most stacked, loaded casts ever. Kristen Bell, Jamie Lee Curtis, Betty White, Kristen Chenoweth, and more. Those are just, oh, and a little cameo from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's fantastic. So go watch this movie. It's an enemies to in-laws storyline and kind of follows the storylines of like high school rivals who then meet each other later in life through a family wedding. Fantastic writing, comedy gold. It's awesome. I love it. I also rewatch this movie probably like every couple of months. I just love it. So anyways, 10 out of 10 for You Again. The next movie is also a 10 out of 10 for me, and it is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, and that is the 2014 version of Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Crazy long title, but it's a children's book to movie adaptation, and how they adapted that book into this phenomenon of a movie, I have no idea. It is like pure genius, and I love it, and the family dynamic is just amazing. I probably rewatch this movie monthly. I love it that much. Steve Carell, Jennifer Garner, probably their best roles I have seen them in, and them playing parents is just incredible. So give this movie a shot. It will make you belly laugh. It will make you like hilariously stress sweat for them because of all the terrible things that they go through as a family in one day. But it is just one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it. 10 out of 10. Okay, only a few more. I've watched a lot of stuff in June. Next is the absolute classic rom-com Made in Manhattan. I discovered this movie a lot later in my adulthood, probably only like 1 or 2 years ago. And I just fell in love with it. I think it is so cute. I love the storyline. It's kind of the Cinderella trope storyline, and it is phenomenal. I love it. Who would have thought that Voldemort would have been so lovable? But he is. And again, Jennifer Lopez absolutely shines in rom-coms. It's so cute. If you have not seen this movie, go watch it. How many times can I say that? I'm gonna recommend every movie I watched that got like over a 7 out of 10. Just a good old-fashioned rom-com if you're in the mood for that. It's perfect, and I love it. So Made in Manhattan, I overall rated it about a 9 out of 10. It was great. Okay, 2 more. Second to last one is Austenland. Austenland is a modern take on Pride and Prejudice where Kerry Russell plays a Jane Austen like fanatic. Like she is an ultra mega fan and she pays to go visit Austenland. It is this immersive role play vacation where you act out basically one of Jane Austen's stories and you are like a main character in a Jane Austen novel. Well, she doesn't have enough money to pay for like the really nice package, so she gets the cheapest package and it sets up some pure comedy gold. That's all I will tell you if you haven't seen it, because some of the jokes in it are so funny and so laughable. It's a great movie. And Jennifer Coolidge is in it, who is just, I think, hilarious. That should be motivation enough for you to go watch it right there. Also, I have to credit my mom. She showed me this video years and years and years ago, and it's our family joke that she's the one that introduced it to us. So thanks, Mom. I love you. Thanks for showing me Austenland. I rewatched it this month to get a good laugh, but it's so funny. It's so good. Overall, I did rate it about a 7 out of 10 because rewatching it, I was like, oh, there is a lot of sexual humor in it. So just fair warning. But it's just a fun take on Pride and Prejudice and kind of a modern take on it. It's really good. Go watch it. It's great. Okay, last but not least is Frozen, the Broadway musical spectacular. What was it called? The hit Broadway musical. Frozen, the hit Broadway musical. That's what it's called. Okay, and I have to be honest. So Frozen is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I love Frozen so much. So I was really excited for this to come to Disney+. However, I rated it a 2 out of 10. For a couple of reasons. One, I was just a little bored. 2, it had a lot of changes from the animated to the stage play, and I know they have to make changes because you can't have rolling rocks that turn into people on stage in a Broadway show. So I know they have to make changes. However, I didn't love the added songs. I didn't think they really added to it. Usually I think musicals do really well when the songs move the storyline along, and these added songs did not do that. Also, like, really what tainted my whole review of the movie was that there is a sexual joke thrown into Love is an Open Door, and it seriously, like, it ruined it for me. It was so bad, and I just kept thinking, how many parents are bringing their kids to this? I know kids probably don't clue into all of that, but, like, it just made me super uncomfortable, and I just felt like it had no place in the play. I also felt like the actress who was portraying Anna portrayed her very like sexy, and I did not like that. That's not Anna's character at all. She also changes clothes on stage multiple times, and you see her in her like underwear corset. So I thought that was weird. Like, there were just some like weird choices again that they made. Honestly, the best part of the whole thing was the let it go quick change was 10 out of 10. And that's probably the only reason I gave it a 2 out of 10 is for that let it go quick change. That's what was the best part. So anyways, 2 out of 10 for the Broadway Frozen production. Okay, and that is everything I watched in the month of June. Overall, it was a great month, and I had lots of time to watch some fun movies, and I cannot wait to see what I watch in July. There's a lot of things I'm like highly anticipating. Bachelor in Paradise, Zombies 4, Superman, Jurassic World. There's a lot of great things coming out in July. So July is going to be a really good month, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So let me know how you like this video. What movies have you seen and liked? Maybe what movies have you not seen and are excited to watch? What do you think of some of my ratings that I gave some of these movies? I would just love to know. Let me know in the comments below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it so I can keep doing more. And if you can, subscribe to the channel because it helps us out a ton. And I am so excited to keep making videos about movies and characters and things that I love. Thank you for allowing me to do that and being here and watching my videos. I see every single number of views and every person who comments and likes my videos, and I can't tell you how much you mean to me for doing that for me. So thank you. Thank you for being here with me and fangirling and breaking down movies with me. It means a lot. So thank you. Well, until next week, we have a lot of good things coming, and I will see you next week on Pass the Popcorn.